Welcome in. It's a Varsity Vibe. Always so great to have you join us. I'm your host, Alyssa Orange. And, over the last couple of weeks, we have had some great conversations with coaches and players on the basketball court. But we're going to step away from the court and head over to the mat, specifically the wrestling mat and Shiloh Christian. For Jack Hooe, wrestling, he says, is the ultimate sport. It tests you mentally and physically in ways no other sport does. And getting into wrestling at a young age, he tried other sports, but always knew that wrestling was where his heart was. He's put in the work, dedication, and incredible self-discipline to work toward success, and he's found it, winning his fourth straight state championship to end his high school career. The sport has also set him up for success after the mat, and it was a pleasure to visit with him about his journey. First off, congratulations on the state championship.
Thank you.
And my understanding, that's the fourth one. Mm-hmm. So you've had a career that hasn't ended in a state championship. Was this one better, sweeter, different than the other four, or how would you summarize it?
It was a little bit more sad, actually.
Okay.
Because I've wrestled my whole life.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like my last official folk style tournament. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it was bittersweet. Like, it was awesome. Like, it meant a lot because I've worked for that goal specifically, and for it to finally actually happen, it all hit me at once.
Sure.
And it was pretty emotional.
A flood of emotion, some tears, bittersweet tears though. Happy.
I was so happy, and I just felt so blessed because I have so many people that have poured into me and have just made this possible for me.
Let's go back to the first one you won as a freshman, and you talk about being able to wrestle your entire life. What was that first one like?
So the first one, I was extremely, I anticipated it so much.
Okay.
Because in youth wrestling, they always tell you, you're just doing this to get ready for high school. Mm-hmm. Nothing matters till high school wrestling. And then I got to high school wrestling, and I was like, dang, this matters now.
Right.
This is important. And I was tiny. I was a 106. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. For me, I was just so nervous, so nervous. Even though the kid I was wrestling the finals I had beat the week before, I was so nervous. My dad was trying to calm me down because I was like, what if I mess it up? What if I mess it up? And then it ended up being fine. I ended up getting a tech fall, and I beat him by 16 points or something. But even when I won, I didn't even realize I had won. My whole brain had shut off. I had my hand raised, and I was just like,
sure. Right.
No
I think there are a lot of athletes who can say everyone's had a moment where you're almost kind of blackout, and you're just it's an out of body experience.
I don't remember the match.
Okay.
I do not remember it.
Yeah, but that's really cool to kind of get it started. And then as it rolled, how did you continue to grow as a wrestler over your 4 years at Shiloh?
Yeah, I love Shiloh.
Yeah.
It's 4A wrestling, which is not quite 6A. By any means. It's just as good as 5A. Some people will argue with that, but I stand by that.
Okay.
And, but I could have gone and wrestled in 6A and had tougher competition, but the school of Shiloh, I just love it so much. The Christian integration and everything, and my friends that I've made there. And I love our team. And having my brother come on when I was a junior. My little brother's been on the team for the past 2 years. So I just love Shiloh. That's the reason I stayed in 4A. But my coaches, we have a coach named Coach CJ.
Yeah.
He's young. He just got out of college wrestling a few years ago, and he just pours in all of us and really gets in the weeds of everything that we're doing, and he watches and he knows everything.
Yeah.
So having somebody like that, where it's less of a coach, a yes sir, you have to be super serious. He's more of just a friend. So I feel that approach is very helpful.
When you look at wrestling, and very similar to swimming or tennis or these sports, gymnastics, where it's individual yet it's a team, how does that dynamic work? How does that work for you guys when obviously individually you're working on yourself
Absolutely.
As well as for the betterment of the team?
So it is an individual sport, right?
Yeah.
And there's nobody, once you're out there, it's not like baseball or football. There's nobody else that can save you.
Right.
If any mistakes are made, that's on you. And there's nothing you can do to change it. Because, you can be winning by 13, 14 points and get pinned, and you still lose. There's no participation trophies or anything.
Right.
Yeah. So, but the team aspect is extremely motivating. So it can also make it, in a duel, which is where, everybody's score. You're wrestling your individual match, but all the scores accumulate at the end to see who like wins as a team. And that team championship, we won dual state this year. Shiloh did, but then we lost the state title by like 2.5 points, which is ridiculously close. So just it's very motivating to know that it can come down to being that close. So every single match matters, and like you're not just wrestling for yourself, because that'd be harder. Like the guys cutting weight, like Manny Joyce, he's on our team. He was cutting a lot of weight, and I think if he was doing that just for him, he would never have been able to do it. Yeah. But he knew that him making that weight was helping the whole team. Yeah,
you say cutting weight. For those who are listening that don't know wrestling terms and what that means, break that down exactly on what it means, obviously, for him and how he can or can't compete.
Yeah, so cutting weight is the worst thing ever. It's awful. It's the worst part about wrestling, and everybody will agree with that. It essentially, you have to, there's weight classes in wrestling, and you have to get down to that weight class. For me, I didn't cut weight this year, so I was like 4 pounds under all the time. But Manny had to cut a lot, and so he would come into practice at like 156 pounds, and he'd have to make 146.
Oof. By the end of practice?
By the end of the
end of the week.
So basically, you're just practicing. You're not eating sodium. That way you don't hold on to water. You're eating way less, working out way more. It's hot. You're sweating. You can't drink water at the end. And if you've never been refused water for at least for like a day, it's terrible. Yeah. It like breaks you. Yeah. But you kind of have to do it as part of the sport.
Yeah, and I think that that's such a huge mental part of it that some people don't see. When people think wrestling, they think of the physical side of it, but it's so much more, as you've kind of explained, a mental.
Because you can give up, and like nobody would know, you know what I mean? Like when you're at your house at night, and like you're just so thirsty trying to go to bed, you can get up and go get a water, but then you're not going to be able to make weight the next day, and you're going to let down your whole team. Because if you don't make weight, it's a forfeit at that weight, which is the same as getting pinned. Yeah. So it's like you're giving up on the team. That's another part where the team comes in. Right. If you're just cutting weight for yourself, you're not doing it.
Right. When did you start wrestling? How old were you?
5 or 6.
Okay. So what got you into it?
My dad. He put me in it. And it was right when I think we were called the NWA Knights. Okay. Or something like that. It's in Bentonville. I'm from Bentonville. And it was right when the Honey Badger Wrestling Club was starting. Okay. Which is the best wrestling club in the state by far. Okay. And I got to be a part of that. I think that's what made me good. Like single-handedly. Yeah. Like it grew me as a wrestler, a person. It's where I homeschooled there for a year. I lived there. Yeah. And that team, I made all my best friends in the world there. And I think youth wrestling is essential to being successful in high school. Yeah.
When you look at it, when you said like 5, it goes from just being a kid on a mat, almost like horse wrestling, your brother or your friends, and then it gets technical. Oh, yeah. Do you remember at what point it kind of shifted from like, hey, this is fun, and we're just kids, back and forth to now here's the technical side of it. Now I'm really good, and I can use certain things to my advantage. When did that shift happen?
I think that shift happened most drastically when my coaches started really yelling at me. Okay. Because then I realized that it was serious and I had to try. Okay. Because like you could get punished with like burpees or running. Oh gosh,
like, no one loves burpees. No, I don't care what anyone says. Nobody likes those.
Like make you do push-ups and like you want to cry because you're 7 years old. Right. And honestly, that's kind of when it kicked in for me. Like, okay, I have to really try and get this right. And also, you start caring a lot. Yeah. Because like when I was little, I don't even remember wrestling when I was 6 years old, hardly. And like the matches, there was like, you're just out here for fun. We don't know. But once I like kind of committed to it, I stopped doing like a bunch of the other sports. The only sport I ever stuck with was running. Yeah. I ran cross country all through high school. But running and wrestling, that's what I would do. Yeah. And I got super serious about them. And just kind of like, I never really did any ball sports just because I excelled at wrestling and running. Right. So once I started prioritizing it and like winning or losing was very important to me, that's when I started focusing on like my technique and getting stronger and really tuning in everything.
When you look at it and you're like, when you say I started getting better, I started winning at wrestling, I started understanding that like I was good and skilled in this sport. Was there a time when you were just like like you said, dedicating to it. So when did you kind of almost make that mental shift of saying, this is my priority, running and wrestling. This is what I want to do. And I'm now dedicated to it.
Yeah. So I couldn't tell you like an exact time when
Sure.
that shift happened, but it just gradually, I think before I was 8 or 9 years old, I knew
Okay.
though.
Yeah.
So like my team was very, very serious.
Yeah.
And it was very time consuming. I just did it every single day. I didn't even think about other sports really.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried other sports. I tried baseball and
Yeah.
I tried football and I never did basketball, swimming. I tried all those things, but
Always came back to wrestling.
always came back to wrestling. I was
Yeah.
always a wrestler doing
Yeah.
those sports.
Right.
And like
okay.
I would tell them, like,
I love the way you put that.
I would be playing baseball. I'm like, dang, I suck at this. I could be wrestling right now. And I was like, this is not fun. And then I'd
Yeah.
go back to wrestling. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
better.
So what is it about wrestling that you love so much?
I think I also like what I like the most. It makes you really tough.
Yeah.
Like I hated it all the time, but I would never quit. It was a weird relationship I had with it until high school. Once I got to high school, I loved it. And like I wanted to do it. It's still so hard. Like
Yeah.
it's, in my opinion, it's the hardest sport because of it's all encompassing. Like it's not hard just at practice. It's hard when you're cutting weight at home and like you
Yeah.
can't eat. And I think there's something about that. It gave me so much confidence. And because I was always little, like my mom's tiny. She's like 5'1", which did not assist me at all. And I was like always the smallest kid in my class, but I was always so confident because I knew I could beat up anybody in there.
Yeah.
Which is weird, but it made me
Sure.
feel a lot better, and I loved it.
Sure. Well, and you had an outlet now in
Yeah.
wrestling. You could kind of prove that,
Oh, yeah.
it doesn't matter what I look like on the mat. I'll still take you down.
Absolutely.
How do you step onto the mat with that kind of like, you can't beat me mentality?
Yeah, so I think that what I try to tell my teammates all the time is that you're going to win or lose the match before you even go out there.
Yeah.
If you go out there and you get intimidated, this is something I struggled with a lot in youth, but I kind of learned how to mitigate that in high school. But in youth, it was like if they had cool shoes or they looked scary, it was like terrifying. You're like, I can't beat them. Look at him. He's better than me. And I think I'm a big music guy. Like
Okay.
I like to listen to music, get my own space. I don't really look at the other person. I just think back to, because the only thing I can control, I just focus on what I can control. And I know that I've put in the work.
Yeah.
I made weight. I've practiced every day. I've done
Yeah.
everything I can do. I just have to go out there and compete like I know I can.
Right.
And just, I would also give a lot of it to the Lord. I would
Yeah.
also tell myself that I'm not defined. This is something I really focused on this year. I'm not defined by wrestling. That's
Right.
not who I am. I'm first and foremost a child of God.
Sure.
And so just focusing on that this is just for fun.
Yeah.
Like it's not that important.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that that's a great message. And there have been a ton of other high school athletes I've talked to who say, for example, wrestling is what I do. It's not who I am.
Yeah,
And in those moments, how comforting was it for you to know that like things are tough, but this does not define who I am?
It's the only thing that's comforting.
Yeah.
Because especially this year, like any year before the state finals specifically, because that's like the most nerve-wracking match. Because it doesn't matter if I was always like the 1 seed, but then again, anything can happen in a wrestling match.
Yeah.
Anybody can lose at any given moment. So just knowing that like if I did lose, I was going to ruin the 4-time thing.
Yeah.
You can't ever get that back. There's no redos. And I think just focusing on the Lord gave me so much peace. Because when I was focusing on everything on myself and thinking about how scary it was, but once I would listen to like some worship music before I'd go out there, and it would calm me down, and I'd always wrestled better.
Yeah. You talk about the music and some worship music. Is that what you listened to mostly, or what was in the headphones?
Before big matches, like there's this guy called KB.
Okay.
It's like a mix. It's like Christian rap.
Okay.
So it's like still like warm up music with like some beat to it, but
Nice.
I can focus on like the words and
Yeah.
just get centered on Christ before I go out there.
Cool.
So a lot of Christian rap.
That's awesome. When you look at the sport, what message would you give to maybe parents or kids who have considered getting into wrestling? What would your message be to them?
I would say it's probably the best thing you can do because it makes you physically. It's ridiculous. There's not very many injuries in wrestling. It's it strengthens your joints and a bunch of muscles that you wouldn't typically think about. So you become more injury resistant. Like, I think there's more concussions in like women's soccer than wrestling. And just, it's great for your body. It's great for your mind. Like, the mental discipline and the toughness that you get from it is unlike anything else. And also, because it's so hard, you create way stronger bonds. And like, the friends that I've made in wrestling they're like brothers to me. I mean, they are my best friends in the whole world. Like, you just form really great relationships with your team, with your coaches, and you make really good friends.
When you look back at your career at Shiloh, how would you sum it up, and how do you feel like you left the program better than when you got there?
The main thing I hope I brought to the program at Shiloh is that it's a brotherhood, that everybody in the team, it's not about you, that it's about what you're preparing yourself to the best of your ability to help the team. It can feel so individual, but when you make it about the team, it makes you better, it makes everyone around you better, and also just having a positive attitude every day, because it is so easy to just get down on yourself and think, wow, this sucks, and I still have to do this for another 2 months. And I would just say that taking it day by day, just focusing on what you're doing in the moment and just enjoying it, because once you start having fun with it, like, it just becomes a lot better and you get better, and then it's more fun.
Yeah. How do you take that into the next chapter of your life, for whatever's next for you?
So next for me is definitely military.
Yeah.
So I'm going to either West Point or the Naval Academy.
Okay.
And I think wrestling and cross country, which are very, very mental sports.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just so ready. And just taking the same principles I always use, just make it fun. Don't focus on how much it sucks.
Yeah.
And just create really tight bonds.
Yeah.
Because like, when you have friends and like you make it fun, you can get through anything.
Well, it sounds like you've accomplished so much in your wrestling career at Shiloh, but also as a person. Thanks for sitting down and talking with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
A special thank you to Jack for joining us and giving us his time. Such a great representation of Shiloh Christian wrestling, and we wish him nothing but the best in his next chapter.
So we called a timeout with 2.6 left on the clock. Coach Lloyd, he drew up a play with a couple different options. It was inbounded to me, full court, and then I had Cooper in the corner for a shot if I needed it. And I also had the shot if I wanted to go the other way. So we definitely had a couple reads off of it. And it just happened to be, guy was on my left hip, so it kind of took away Cooper. And then I knew I needed to shoot it with, I think it was a little bit less than a second on the clock, so I got it up and it went in.
Landon Price's game winner at the buzzer, giving Bentonville West sole possession of third place in the 6A West and finishing his night with 15 points and 13 rebounds.
It was honestly like when I shot it, it felt really good out the hands, and I was looking at it kind of at its peak, and it looked really good. So right about at its peak, I knew it was going in. It felt good, and I kind of already started celebrating a little bit in my head before it went in, and it was just definitely a really good feeling.
Earlier in the week, Price putting up 30 points in their win over Fayetteville, and right now this Wolverines team trending in the right direction with the postseason right around the corner.
We can compete with anybody. I think we proved that multiple times this year, beating now the number one seed Harbor and beating the, at the time, number one seed Fayetteville. We really can compete with anybody. We just got to go out there and, like I was saying, play consistent all 4 quarters.
Congratulations to Landon Price, our Lindsay Boys Athlete of the Week, #1 in apartments, golf, and real estate. Our Lindsay Girls Athlete of the Week is Harbor's Madison Campbell. Last week, Madison surpassed 1,000 career points and has played a big role in the Wildcats' current undefeated conference season.
I watched back the film. I saw the bench. They were celebrating. They was trying to make numbers with their hands. It was so fun. I knew that I can do it, and I knew that my team would help me do it. And I just felt so proud of myself, like me evolving over the years.
She's seen her game grow over the years and has really had a breakout season as a junior.
My coaches, like Coach Tarver, he really pushed me. He really encouraged me every year, talking about I can do this, and Coach Jenkins as well. And then like freshman year, I was kind of like, not really into myself. I just fell back behind everybody. The sophomore year, I got into myself, and I just focused on myself, on my training and everything like that. And then this year I actually evolved and I'm like performing each game.
And as talented as this year's team is, she knows her role in helping them see success.
Usually I just like guard the best people, guard the best players, and just keeping my teammates civil and not letting them focus just on the stands.
Congratulations to Madison Campbell, our Lindsay Girls Athlete of the Week, #1 in apartments, golf, and real estate. That is going to do it for Varsity Vibe. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you've missed any of the past conversations that we've had, please go check them out. You can obviously listen to us wherever you get your podcasts or watch us on our YouTube channel. And while you're at it, make sure you're following along on our social media platforms because we have so many things there as well outside of this podcast to share with you. That is highlights from games, post-game interviews, all those kind of things that we don't want you to miss any of it. So make sure you're following us on Instagram, X, TikTok, and Facebook. And while you're at it, sign up for the newsletter at varsityvibearkansas.com. That comes to your inbox twice a week and keeps you in the know with everything that's happening with high school athletics around the state. A special thank you to our sponsors. We could not do this without you. So thank you so much to them. And I will see you next time.